Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from experts of Hollywood, this factory of perverseness, and other observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or a connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson the Chariots don't collide or crash. The image I have on display is from a film I haven't watched. Of course, being the truth, I reflected on this particular movie. I can't really recall how I got the title of this particular movie. Most likely, I want to say it's from a documentary that I was a financial backer of, and there was a collage of certain films that was a part of the background, and I just happened to see it, and did a little Google search and did a little Wikipedia search and pulled it up. Just to give you a spoiler alert, because I'm going to be going into specifics behind the film. This movie was released in July 1980. Its title, as you can see, is Hangar 18, directed by James L. Conway. And basically, without even getting really into specifics behind it, there was in this particular film, there's a UFO incident where a UFO collides with a space shuttle, and this particular UFO has to land or crash land. And you probably heard this story before if you're familiar with what was that incident that happened in New Mexico. Somewhat similar. In fact, let me go ahead and get it real quick. It was 1948. The Roswell incident. Somewhat similar to that. I want to say that they probably made the story all surrounding that particular incident. And of course, me being in the world, there's something like this probably would have interested me a long time ago. The fact that I remember reading stuff, and probably when I was reading New Age material, they would go into stuff about how certain objects that were created just came out of nowhere after the Roswell incident. And it's most likely, it's a lie. I mean, it was the Most High that directed the steps of men to create certain things. Okay, but if you haven't not known already, I also did a video surrounding the movie Starman, where something similar to this happened, where a UFO had come to Earth, and the military was dispatched, and they shot it down, which is unbelievable. You know, the true nature of UFOs. And, you know, to the layman, they're unidentified. To the people that are in the know, they're identified. So I like to use the term IFO instead of UFO. All right, because these ships are in the scriptures. Let me read the tagline for this particular film. As you can see here, Hangar 18, on October 25th, a large metallic object crashed in the Arizona desert. The government is concealing a UFO and the bodies of alien astronauts. Why won't they tell us? Okay. And as you can see in the last couple of months, if not last year, currently they're bringing out a lot of information and showing you how these things do exist. Because one, you know, people got telephones now with cameras built into them. So if you see this kind of phenomenon, you can take the footage right here, there. And of course, maybe like 30, 40 years ago, a lot of people were faking a lot of footage and things of that sort. I'm using like frisbees and on wires and so forth. Okay. But hey, these things really do exist. Okay. Me personally, you know, I think I want to say I've seen these things myself. All right, I'm not going to go into specifics, but There are a lot more of those out there than you think. Okay, but the scriptures had these all throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, and throughout to our elder apostles on down that brought out this truth, so that I can be aware of these particular things. Okay, but when these things come, it's going to be ultimate war. All right, because these particular chariots, as the scriptures describe them as, hence the title of this particular lesson. And I'm going to bring out some scriptures to back that up, why they're called the chariots. Okay, but this Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's going to have to go to war with these things in the midst of World War III, and the lead chariot, or the head chariot, is going to be it's going to have Yahushua, the one you usually call Jesus Christ, inside. Okay, making his second coming. Okay, but he can make all these particular movies he wants about certain aliens having hostile intent and someone having a friendly intent. Okay, but to sum it all up, these ships have quite a hostile intent. Okay, and they're hostile for Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations, and a peaceful intent to the elect of Israel, or the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, specifically the elect, because there are going to be 2/3 of their own people being destroyed by these things as well. So Salakia for me saying that. I just want to correct myself right then and there. Okay, but Esau Edom's going to have war in his heart. How do we know that? Let's go to Psalms 55, verse 21, and it reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." Okay, and hey, who was given the blessing of the sword? Esau Edom, as pertaining to the book of Genesis. Okay, but to go into the terminology, the definition of the chariots, it's clearly in Psalms chapter 104, and we're going to read verse 3. Psalms 104, verse 3, and it reads, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." Okay. All right. So when Yahushua returns, he's going to come to make war. All right, because he has to basically take out Esau Edom's rulership off of the earth and to set up his kingdom of heaven on earth. Okay. How do we know that? Let's go into Revelation chapter 19. And we're going to read verse 11. It speaks about the rider on the white horse, and that white horse is going to be the chariot. Okay. Or as you people know, it as a flying saucer or UFO. Okay. Revelation chapter 19, verse 11, it reads, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war." Okay, so that cuts to all you pork chop eating Bible thumpers that go to these places you ignorantly call church, because they don't bring this out in the scriptures. They basically say that Yahushua, the one you really call Jesus Christ, is coming back to make peace. All right, hand out grilled cheese sandwiches and flowers, but no, that's not the case according to the scriptures. Reading on, verse 12. "His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns." That's going to be the rulerships that's going to be remaining at the time of his return. "And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Heavenly Father." Okay, and that's Yahushua. Okay, verse 14. And when let me read it back too, because it closed with vesture dipped in blood. It's also talking about the amount of destruction that's going to happen and who's going to be responsible. It's going to be the Son of the Heavenly Father. Okay, verse 14. "And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean." And this is going to be the angels. Okay, headed by Michael the archangel. Okay, verse 15, "And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty Father. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords." Okay, that's the one you're going to call Jesus Christ, Yahushua. Okay, coming to save the elect. All right, and Yahushua spoke about this himself in Matthew chapter 26, verse 64, for this are his own words. Matthew chapter 26, verse 64 reads, "Yahushua saith unto him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless I say unto you, Hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven." See, the clouds of heaven is talking about those chariots as pertaining to Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. Okay. And in case you don't know, hey, the Lord is a man of war. All right. And it's backed up in Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. Okay. The Lord is a man of war. But I'm going to end it on this. All right. Because the main point is just to show that these ships, if you haven't seen any type of UFO documentaries in your day, you're going to know that these things can take all types of shapes, forms, and sizes. And they can contract and constrict and so forth and bend. They can speed up, slow down at a drop of a hat, drop of a dime, really isn't, but even smaller than that. Okay, it can be submersible, meaning it can go underwater and come out of water and keep that same speed. Okay, all right, and just the amount of weaponry that is available on this planet is not going to be able to compete with the chariots of the Heavenly Father. Okay. I'm just going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. When you go in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13, all right, speaks of a different definition or terminology used to describe the chariot or the IFO, as I termed it. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Okay, and that great mountain is going to be that chariot. Verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. That's going to be the armies of the heathens during World War III when they come to try and stop the Son of the Heavenly Father. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Those are going to be the laser beams shooting out of the chariots when they arrive. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of the fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon the son of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. Now you can see that in the movie War of the Worlds, the remake, not the original. Okay, when the ships or the chariots were dissolving the people in the dust and ashes. Okay, reading on. When I saw this, I was afraid. Verse 12, afterward I saw the same man, come down from the mountain and call upon him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound. And others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said, Thou hast shewed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and thou hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. But I've already made the point. From verse 6 to 11. Let's go into back into Revelation. So Revelation chapter 17. It's the victory of the Lamb. Okay, just backing the fact that these heathen nations are going to make war with the Son of the Heavenly Father. Revelation chapter 17, verse 14 reads, These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Okay, this is the patience and the faith of the saints, specifically the elect of Israel. Okay, the 144,000. Okay, because basically these heathen nations don't want to give up their power or their power seat, okay, or their kingdom. They want their new world order to be established, and they don't want a real new world order, which is going to be the kingdom of heaven on earth. Okay, but ultimately, Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be taken out within 1 hour. That's how powerful and fast these ships are. Okay, like I said earlier, there's no type of weapon that's been forged that can go against the Heavenly Father, let alone His Son. Revelation chapter 18, verse 10 reads, Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. You see that? 1 hour. Skip down to verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company of ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. So that's just the point I just wanted to make about how the speed, all right, of this victory that's going to commence, all right, during the Battle of Armageddon, all right, and the Battle of World War III, all right. It's going to be a slam dunk victory, all right. No scores going to be given to Esau whatsoever. I mean, these ships are going to be bouncing around, the different weaponry that's going to be shot at them. They may even let some of the bullets hit them, or some of the weaponry hit them, and they're not even going to show that they've been dented. You can see that in the movie original War of the Worlds, as well as the remake. How they dropped bombs on those things, and they had the shields up, and they just kept on moving right through it all. Okay, it's a good film if you haven't seen it. This Hangar 18 film can be seen for free on YouTube. I may check it out. Just the whole point when I saw it, I just wanted to bring out the fact that these, what you people call UFOs, which are really IFOs, but the Chariots of the Lord, as I just briefly explained in this lesson, these can't be shut down. They don't bend. They bend to their own will. They don't bend to the will of any foreign object. Okay. They're going to exit the dimension, and they're going to wreak havoc. All right. And they're going to follow the words and instructions of the Heavenly Father, ultimately being led by the Son of the Heavenly Father. Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.